What is up, guys? Sorry, I know I'm looking rough. I just worked out, but as I was working out, I was just thinking about my journey and this is so weird because I've wanted to talk about this for a while on my channel, but I felt like it's not something that I've totally just, got under control. But I feel like where I'm at now in life with myself, I feel like it's something that I have to do, only because it's like I have so many girls watching me. And even though it's like I know that I look at the demographics of my channel, I know that the majority of the people that watch my channel are like from the ages of 17 to 24, but I'm 21 and it took me until now to get where I'm at. And I feel like certain behaviors start really young and sometimes you could carry it into adulthood. So I don't know, I just wanted to share my story. Again, sorry, I just worked out, so that's why I look like this, but I am wearing a shirt. It's a sports bra, so I'm trying to pan it a little low. I'm gonna try not to cut this as much so it can be as raw as it possibly can, but sometimes I do space out, so if there is a cut, it's not because I'm like trying to leave out any info or anything like that. It's just there are times where I just kind of space out and I get in my thoughts and stuff like that. But yeah, here we go. So I'm gonna start from the beginning. Well, for one, weight has always been a really big thing in my whole life. I remember I noticed that I was different when I was about 7. Okay, so I'm from New York. I've lived in New York, raised in New York, and then I moved down to Florida with my mom when I was around 7. And I lived with my grandmother. When I lived with my grandmother, grandmas do what they do. They feed you. They give you whatever the fuck you want. They give you all the snacks. They let you do whatever you want, and then I feel like when you're younger and you're chubby, it's cute, it's not oh, she needs to fix that because she's a kid, she's being a kid. Chubby kids are cute, you know what I mean? So it was never really a big deal. But then once I moved to Florida, I noticed, and another thing, cause I have rethought this a lot, I've rethought my whole journey a lot, and I just don't want anybody to blame a certain person for me being the way I am, because at the end of the day, self-esteem is within yourself. But I am going to tell you my upbringing and why things are the way they are. But I don't want you to blame people that have brought me up for that, because at the end of the day, self-esteem is within yourself. So I just want to get that out the way. So when I moved to Florida, I was living with my mom, and I would always overhear her say little things like, what the fuck did my mom do to my daughter? She's gaining weight, and she came down here, she can't even run with the other kids, and stuff like that. And I would hear little shit like that, and it would kind of get to me, but not really. So I was just okay, well, maybe if I try harder to interact with the kids and do outside activities and stuff, maybe the weight will go away. So that's what happened. I started going outside, playing with my friends, and I started losing weight. Every year that I've ever lived in Florida, I have gone back to New York until I was the age of 17. So for 10 years, I've kind of had two cultures around me, because I would go the whole school year in Florida, and then I would go to New York for 2 or 3 months for the summertime every single year until I was 17. So I've just been brought up in two places, okay? So every summer I would go to my grandma's house and I would gain the weight again. And I would come back home and it would just be the same thing over and over and over again. Oh my God, Naja, my mom would just be like, Naja, you need to go outside. You need to work out. You need to eat better. All this stuff. And it was just a lot. Even my diet growing up, we did not eat pork or anything like that. My mom, mainly my dad, because my dad is Haitian, but he has a lot of Muslims in his family, and they don't believe in eating pork and like shellfish and stuff like that. So like my mom kind of like adapted that as well. So even when my mom and my dad did separate, she told me like, you have a choice. If you want to eat those things, you can, but they were never available in the house anyway. Like, I don't even think I had my first piece of pork bacon until I was like in middle school. I ate my first pork chop when I was 20 years old. So I just want you guys to understand, like, that's the type of house that I grew up in. Like, we were very health oriented. Like, my mom would make fish and like steamed vegetables and quinoa and stuff like that, because my mom was also a health nut. She still is. She would always be in the gym. My mom lost a lot of weight when she moved to Florida after having my brother. So like, that was just something that was really like drilled into me. Like, you have to be fit. Fit is attractive. You have to work hard. You have to eat certain things. So yeah, every time I would come back from New York, it would be the same thing, same thing, same thing. So then by the time I was in middle school, that's when I really felt like, fuck, like because once you get to middle school, that's like when you go through puberty and shit, and then you notice other people's bodies. Like, so I'm looking at other people's bodies and I'm like, shit, I don't look like her. Like, you get what I mean? Like, I'm like, I don't look like her. And then it's already bad enough because, like, I'm biracial, so I already don't look like a lot of people. Like, in New York, there's all types of races and ethnicities and mixed people and mixed cultures. But in Florida, maybe just where I was at, there really wasn't any of that. So I'm like, okay, I already don't look like these people. And my body doesn't look like these girls. And, like, it just really fucked with me. So, that's when I started getting into, like, video games and stuff. So I would sit at home and play video games all the time, and like my mom would just be like, no, like, you're getting big again. And then it even came to the point where like my younger brother was hearing my mom say that so much that my brother started doing it. And I don't blame him because he was a kid. Like, so like imagine kids on a playground. Like, when kids pick on other kids, they're gonna pick on them too because they don't want to get picked on, type thing. So my brother would pick on me too, and he would just be like, oh, you're fat, like, shut up, and stuff like that. And I would just be like, dude, what the fuck? So my mom bought me a skateboard. I started skateboarding. Then I got a ripstick, started doing that. Then this is so nerdy, but I got into like DDR. Like, I was going to like arcades and doing the Dance Dance Revolution thing, and like I lost a lot of weight. So I lost my weight again. And then I didn't really think of my body image anymore. Like, now that I think about it, after that happened, I didn't really think of my body image anymore. Then I went into high school. My freshman year, didn't really think of my body image like that. Then my sophomore year is when I met my best friend at the time. I called her Libra in my other storytime videos. And I spoke about this briefly in that hour-long video about how when I met her, she would always make little comments like, oh, you're fat, or like, oh, look at your thighs, or like, oh, this, oh, that. And I would like compare my body type to her body type, even though I'm 5'2", haven't grown since my freshman year. I'm 5'2", and this girl was like 5'8", and of course her body is going to be slimmer than mine, but I didn't get that. So when my best friend is telling me this, just like how I thought, well, my mother is telling me this, obviously these are people that love me, so they're telling me because I need to fix myself. But okay, so I was at that time where I'm just like, okay, well, my best friend is telling me, my mom is telling me, like, but at that point in my life, my mom was not saying that to me. Okay, like, when I was a sophomore, my mom was not pinning me about my body or anything like that. The only thing she would say about my body was like, oh, your arms are really skinny, like, stuff like that. Because I was small. Like, I was a small girl. Like, looking back now, I'm like, I was small. Like, but because my best friend was telling me, like, oh, you're fat, because we used to do photo shoots together, and we would put the camera on the self-timer, and we would take the picture, and, literally, right as we took the picture and we look at the playback on the camera, I would just start to look at myself and compare it to her. Like, I would be like, wow, like, my thighs are huge. Like, wow, like, she's right. Like, look how small she is. And why do we have to be side by side? And then after a while, I was like, can I just take pictures by myself? Because it would fuck up my mood for the whole day. Like, literally fuck up my whole mood. And I would just ask, can I take pictures by myself? She'd let me take pictures by myself. And even then, she'd still be like, no, we can't post that one because your arm looks really weird, or your thighs are like touching in this picture, and blah blah blah. Like, just shit like that really fucked me up. But so then after that, I was just thinking of ways like, okay, how could I get skinnier? And mind you guys, at this point I was probably like 125 pounds. Like, I 5'2" and 125 pounds, that is not big at all. That is not big at all. Like, at all. Like, and I was literally brainstorming ways like, how could I lose weight? How could I lose weight without any type of hard work? Because that's the thing with a lot of people, like, they want to lose it but they don't want to work hard. So I was like, how could I lose this weight without like really doing anything? So I was really big on Tumblr at the time. Tumblr is the fucking devil. I feel like Tumblr is the fucking devil because they promote triggers, they promote self-harm, they promote eating disorders, like, they promote all this hate. And you would think that they would have regulated that by now, but they haven't. And if you're a teenager and you want to go and feel shitty about yourself or get tips to harm yourself, you could go on Tumblr. And I really feel like Tumblr needs to do a better job of regulating these type of blogs and these type of people, because there are people on Tumblr that feel like they are celebrities because they are harming themselves. There are even some people on YouTube that do that shit. Like, this one girl in particular, you know, I'm not even gonna say her name because there are so many videos about this girl. You guys probably already know who the fuck I'm talking about, but she blatantly has an eating disorder, and she's just trying to say, oh, I'm just skinny. And all I see in the comments are these young girls, oh, I want my body to look like yours, oh, I want to look like you. And it's unrealistic because she's doing get quick skinny mechanisms to get the way she is. So yeah, I went on Tumblr. First things that I saw was bulimia, anorexia. I didn't want to throw up because I had braces. My mom was working on my teeth. I didn't want to ruin my teeth. Didn't want my hair to fall out and shit, you know, so didn't do that. Then I saw anorexia. I couldn't really not eat. Like, I couldn't do it. Like, I just wanted to eat. Like, I enjoyed food. The problem wasn't food. The problem was with my body. Like, in my head, I was seeing something completely different than what the fuck is going on in real life. So I was not associating food with that problem. I was just like, what can I do to just, you know, get quick skinny? So that didn't work. I just got really depressed. My best friend moved to a different city. So I got really depressed, and I had met these party people my junior year. My whole sophomore year, I was depressed, and I stayed in the house every day. All summer vacation, I stayed in the house in my room every day on Tumblr. Like, I literally was... That was like the worst downslope I had in my life at that point, because I do have manic depression, but it's usually like a seasonal thing. Like, usually this time of year, like when it's cold and stuff like that, it gets to me. But that whole year I was depressed. And my junior year, when my junior year started, I had met these party people. And I had noticed, I started smoking weed, and I was just like, well, now my body doesn't want to eat unless I'm high. And I'm in high school, so I don't have money to just be buying all this weed. So the only time I'm going to eat is if I'm high. So I was like, okay, this works. So I started losing weight. Then I got even more in the party scene and started doing drugs. I noticed that if I didn't eat and I drank alcohol, I would get sick. So I was like, okay, I can't do alcohol. Then I started getting into harder drugs. I didn't do like crack or heroin or meth or nothing like that, but like, you know, fuck it, we're being real. I would do like cocaine. So I was doing cocaine, and I started losing weight. I didn't want to eat. I started losing weight. I could stay up later, do my homework. I started getting into Adderall. and, you know, all that speed type of shit so that I could lose weight. And I was only 17. And people think, like, and it's still going on today, and it sucks. And I'm not trying to cry or nothing, because I just feel bad for these girls when I see it. But people think because it's in middle class suburbia and stuff like that, that it can't happen there. Like, oh no, that only happens in the hood. Like, they don't got drugs in this white picket fence type shit. My mom never even knew that I was on drugs. Like, I just remember doing the most stupidest shit in the house. Like, I would be high off my mind, and I would just be cleaning the whole house, bleaching the floors, and like just doing crazy shit. But my mom didn't even know I was high. I don't know if she didn't know I was high, or she just didn't want to come to terms that something was going on. Because I do remember there were certain points where she'd be like, Nadja, like, you're getting really skinny. Like, I just remember she sat me down and she was like, you're getting really small. I don't know what's going on, but you look sick. And in my mind, I was just like, I kind of felt like I was like, how can I say this? Like, more of like a haha, yeah, I got it now. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it was more of like a haha, yeah, well, now I'm skinny now, so you may think I'm sick, but I know I look great because I could fit into this bathing suit. I can go to the beach in a two-piece. I could wear these big baggy shirts and look cute. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's what I felt in my head. Even though my mom was like looking at me very concerned, in my mind, I'm just like, well, haha, I'm skinny. Like, so at that time, I think I was at my lowest weight. I was like 5'2", and I think I was like 96, 95 pounds, I want to say. Because that's another thing. I would weigh myself constantly. I would weigh myself constantly. Like, when I woke up, I would weigh myself. After I ate breakfast, I would weigh myself. Before I went to bed, I would weigh myself. And I was just constantly on it. But I felt like it was kind of like a high, because I was like, at one point I was just at like a weight for a long time, and I just felt like, now I'm perfect. Like, now I'm perfect. Now all these guys are gonna want me and all this stuff. And like, it was just the huge facade. And like, I noticed even the girls around me, like, we all had that similar problem. And that's why I feel like it's like the whole suburbia doesn't have drugs complex is fucked, because I didn't realize at the time, but like going down the line, I realized like we all have the same problem. Like, one of my friends was like, oh, because once we came to adults and we quit all that shit, I was talking to her and she was just like, oh, sometimes I wish I was still on drugs because my stomach was so flat, and like, now I've gained all this weight. Or like, another one of my friends that I was partying with was like, aw, damn, look at this picture of us, like, we were so skinny, we were so cute. And like, just comments like those made me think like, damn, we were all going through the same shit, but we were masking it with partying to make it feel positive, when we're all really hurting inside, and we all have this fucking dysmorphic image of ourselves. Because before we were even doing anything, we looked like normal ass kids. Like, nothing was wrong with us. Like, we looked like normal ass teenagers. Like, we didn't need none of that. You know what I mean? So I want to say in college is when I really stopped doing drugs. My freshman year of college, I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore, because I was so light that I would be going up the staircase in my house and my whole world would just go like this, and everything would get fuzzy, and I would just like fall to my feet, and like I would have to sit there for at least like 3 minutes until I was well enough to get back up and start walking. Like, that would happen to me constantly. Like, I would just fall out on the couch, I would just fall out in my bed, like, and I would have to just sit there and wait until everything was okay and I can get back up and walk again. Like, I was that malnourished that I couldn't do anything. Like, I was tired all the time, but I couldn't sleep because I was on drugs. Like, that shit was just, it was just a lot. So when I was in college, I was like, okay, I need to quit doing drugs. Like, I just need to focus on school. I'm gonna leave all these toxic people behind. I'm just gonna do me. And that worked for a while. I didn't really look at my body like that. I just did me. And I thought it was over. Like, I was like, okay, this part of my life is over. Like, I'm grown. That was just some high school shit. Like, I was going through it. I've grown. I've come past that. I am happy with my body. Like, it is what it is. But what a lot of us don't realize, and I remember this guy had said this to me too. He was like, you're really pretty, but once you hit like 22, 23, your body's going to be amazing. And I was just like, what? Like, I hope not. I hope I stay skinny. Like, I love my body now. Like, I love that I'm a solid at 120 and that, you know, I could wear my cute little high-waist shorts and, you know, I got my little thigh gap. Like, I'm like, no, I want to stay this way forever, right? I didn't understand what he meant, but literally as a woman, you go through body changes, okay? Like, you hit this certain point and shit just comes out of nowhere, okay? So I remember this happened to me like last year when I was 20. I got put back on birth control because I had gotten into a serious relationship and, you know, we were trying to be safe and stuff like that. So I got put on birth control. The birth control that I was on when I was in high school, because I was on birth control in high school too when I was doing all these fucking drugs. Like, I don't know what the fuck was going on, but I didn't gain weight on the birth control. But I got put on the same brand of birth control that I was in high school by my doctor, and it wasn't working. Sorry for the TMI, but I kept having like breakthrough bleeding and stuff like that. And I went to my doctor and I told her, and she was just like, well, maybe you just need a stronger dose of like hormones. Like, you're older now. Maybe that's just what you need. So I got on the higher dose of birth control, and it's like my body completely changed. I used to be able to eat whatever the fuck I wanted to, and I was straight, right? Once I started getting on the birth control, I noticed like my body was changing. I started getting stretch marks because my body was growing so fast. I never had stretch marks on my body in my life. Like my hips started getting wider, my arms started getting bigger. Like, I have stretch marks in the most weirdest spots. And like, that shit freaked me out. And I felt like that 16-year-old girl all over again. Like, I was so depressed. Like, so depressed. But then when I would go outside into the world and people who haven't seen me for a long time, they would just look at me and be like, damn, you got thick. Like, damn, like, you looking good. Like, but in my mind, I'm like, okay, you just called me thick, that means I'm fat. Like, and I'm freaking out, but I'm not realizing all these compliments of how I'm filling out. And like, you know, my boobs got bigger. I went from like a 32B to like a 38C in a year. So like, all these changes are happening, and in the beginning I was freaking the fuck out because in my mind, I'm like, wow, I've never been this big in my life. Like, I'm huge, I'm this, I'm that. But it took me some time to realize, like, not one body type is beauty. Not one body type is beauty. Skinny does not equal gorgeous, all around the world gorgeous. Like, I realized that. And another thing I realized is, like, if you don't like something, do something about it, but do it the healthy way. So literally all I did is I cut out all this junk food in my diet that I usually would be eating. I stopped smoking weed so that I wouldn't only have an appetite when I'm high. Like, I started eating healthier. I started doing simple workouts like sit-ups and doing squats with weights. Like, I just started doing little simple things to get myself to where I want to be in the future. And I noticed more and more in the morning, I would look at my body in the mirror and I would be like, well, damn, I kind of like what I'm seeing. Like, it's not what I'm used to seeing, but this is a new normal that I'm okay with. Like, you get what I'm saying? So then I got brave and I posted a lookbook on this channel. I don't know if you guys noticed, but on like my Instagram and stuff like that, I do not have full body pictures because it took me a while to get used to my new body. I was scared that people were gonna be like, oh my god, she used to be so skinny, now she's fat. Like, because even my face looks different. So I was just like, damn, like, I just don't want anybody to clock me and be like, oh, she gained all this weight and she gained all this weight. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do it one better. I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna make a video and I'm gonna wear all these outfits that I think are cute, regardless if I'm skinny or not, and I'm gonna post it. And when I posted that video, all of the comments in the comment section were like, thank you for portraying this body type on YouTube, because all I see is the same body type. There isn't really any curvy, you know, they got some now, like, because I've subscribed. I don't know if you guys see it, because I specifically subscribe to like curvy girl lookbooks and stuff like that. But like, all the comments were like, thank you so much for posting this. I have the same body type as you, and now I know what I can wear, and like, this looks so good on you and stuff like that. And it really gave me a boost, and it made me realize how important certain people in the media are that have different body types to like come out. Like, my favorite curvy girls right now that are in the media is Rihanna and Jordan Woods. And right now, Rihanna is like my main fucking inspiration right now, because it's like, she went from being super small and now she's curvy and she's fucking gorgeous. And we need people like that in the media to show you like, human bodies change, women's bodies change. You don't have to have a baby for your body to drastically change. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, she still looks beautiful. And she used to be thin and beautiful, and now she's curvy and beautiful. And I just feel like it's really important to have women in the media that portray the evolution of women's bodies and show you how you could still be beautiful regardless of what size you are. And update on where I am now. I'm not gonna lie, it's half and half. Like, I am happy where I am right now. I know I look good where I am right now, but it's like, sometimes when I look in the mirror in the morning, I'm like, damn, bitch, you looking cute. And then sometimes I look bloated and I'm like, damn, I should not have ate that lasagna, bitch. Like, I should have just left that shit alone. But I feel like I've progressed, because I'm not at the state where it's like, okay, well, I need to go find some drugs to do. I need to get this off quick. Like, I need to do this. I need to do that. Like, I am finally okay with where I am now. And then I also had to think, like, this is the most stress-free period of my life that I've had in a long time. For once, everything is going right for me. And in the past, when I was small, I was very stressed. And stress contributes to weight loss as well. So I feel like that also adds on to where I'm at now. But yeah, I just wanted to share my journey with you guys. I do work out. I do try to eat healthy. I do have some cheat days, but all in all, I do not feel like miserable in my own shell anymore. But it is a process. I just don't want to be one of those people that make these videos and they're like, oh yeah, I used to have body dysphoria, but like, now I am completely cured. Like, no, there are some times where I'll look in the mirror on Wednesday and be like, damn, you cute. And then on Thursday, I'll be like, damn, what the fuck happened, bitch? And then Friday, I'm like, oh yeah, you snapped back. Didn't even lose 1 pound. Like, I'm not even about to lie and be like, oh yeah, I'm completely cured. Like, it takes a bit, but I just feel like it's really important to have other girls out there to be like, yeah, I'm going through this too, but you don't have to be extreme about it. You can always take small steps to fix yourself if you ever need something done, like such as working out, eating healthy, like do healthy methods to get your body to where you want it to be. But you don't have to go to the extreme. You don't have to hate yourself, because love your fucking body. It's the only one you're ever gonna have. Love yourself, love your body. And I just feel like it's really hypocritical for people to come on here and be like, oh, love yourself, and then come home and then be fucking shitty. Like, you know, like, I don't know. I was gonna do another video like on stretch marks and shit, because, girl, hold on, let me show you. Ugh, I have got, but yes, honey, do you see the gains? Do you see the gains? But yeah, look, I have like hella stretch marks. Like, stretch marks are definitely a thing, bitch. Like, definitely are. But I'm gonna give y'all a little secret about stretch marks, okay? I'm gonna give you a secret about stretch marks. I don't want to be specific just towards men, but I'm just going to make a quote about men. Men don't give a fuck about stretch marks. Like, men don't fucking care. Men do not care about stretch marks, because in their mind, they're like, okay, so she used to be a skinny bitch and now she's thick. Or she used to be a big bitch and now she's skinny. Either way, you are making personal gains. So don't stress about these I should call them stress marks. Don't stress about these stretch marks. Like, that's the main thing that I have stretch marks in the most weirdest places. Like, I think I already showed y'all, but I have like stretch marks like by my fucking arm. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like, I don't know. I just think the body is beautiful. I don't think that anybody should beat themselves up about the shell that they're in, because at the end of the day, it's just a shell. You are who you are on the inside. And I'm sorry if this video is too long. It's just, I was just working out and I just thought about how far I've come mentally and physically. And I don't, hold on, let me focus this. I do want to make a point that I do not look at the scale at all. The last time I was weighed was like last year, and it was because I was going to the doctor. And I think they said I was like 150, I want to say like 155 pounds, and I'm 5'2". So I just have a really tiny waist. But yeah, I'm 155 pounds and I'm 5'2", and I am just short and stacked, and I'm loving it. And yes, I'm going to be making more lookbook videos of outfits that I wear, because I just want people to have more of like people that they can look at that has a similar body type to them, and like that they could just be like, you know what, yeah, I could rock that outfit. She's cute, so I can't not be cute. Like, that's just what I want to do. I just want to empower people, make people feel good. Like, and yeah, I just want to be real. I just want to be real with y'all, and this is me doing it, looking crazy with my crazy ass bun and my sports bra. So here we go. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Sorry, I know this video was long, but I just had a lot to say. Love yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't curse the shell that you're in, because you're a beautiful person on the inside, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. And there is somebody for everybody, because that's the main thing. I thought, like, nobody's gonna want me if I'm not small. No, fuck that shit. There is somebody for everybody. My boyfriend loved me when I was small, and he loves me now even more. Like, there's somebody for everybody. I love you guys.